There are straight up lies, and then there is gaslighting. Not only are Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew strangers to the truth, they have effectively gaslit us all along when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. These two were closely affiliated with the billionaire sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, who ended up dying in prison in 2019 while awaiting trial. Most importantly, they are gaslighting Virginia Giuffre by disputing the authenticity of the photo filed in court as evidence that Andrew was in contact with her. Welcome to True Lies Scandals. Today, stay tuned to learn more about gaslighting and why I believe the disgraced royal prince and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell are using the narcissistic and manipulative tactic. Before exploring the scandalous details, I welcome you to subscribe to this fastly growing channel if you like the content. Good to see you again if you're a returning fan. Like, comment, share, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with new videos posted. Until I'm able to earn from my podcast through YouTube, I'd like you to know you can donate to show your support using the PayPal link below. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Merci. What is gaslighting and what does it have to do with Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew? Well, I created my own definition. Here we go. What is gaslighting? Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation tactic used primarily by narcissists and sociopathic people to make you question your own thoughts, perceptions, and sense of reality. It's a form of psychological abuse carried out to gain power and control over the victim and change the narrative to suit their agenda. In other words, a gaslighter will deny things they said and things they did, things you know for a fact happened. I call it lying to your face with a straight face and forcing you to believe their version of events. People who don't know what gaslighting is may begin doubting themselves, or they may question their own ability to reason. In some cases, they start feeling confused. The person who's being gaslit may feel confused, uncertain, and as if they're losing their memory or as if they're going crazy. Long-term gaslighting can leave a person feeling stupid or incapable and dependent on the gaslighter to make sense of what's happening around them. Okay, you get the drift. The term gaslighting comes from the 1944 movie Gaslight. In the movie, the husband tried to make his wife think she is insane by telling her he didn't dim the gas light when he actually was doing just that. The light dimmed every time he attempted to enter a room where his wife stored her jewelry. Of course, his agenda was to steal from her jewelry collection. They were the only two people in the house. She knew it had to be him or her, and it wasn't her. After a while, the wife started feeling something was mentally wrong with her because he kept telling her he didn't cause the light to dim, and she knew she didn't do anything to cause the light to dim. So that's pretty much what gaslighting is all about in a nutshell. But there are signs and there are symptoms that people experience after experiencing gaslighting as a form of narcissistic abuse. According to the author Genziano Lay, gaslighting is a learned behavior that is typically rooted in psychopathy or a personality disorder such as narcissistic, antisocial, and borderline disorders. Ghislaine Maxwell, Prince Andrew, and Jeffrey Epstein were all branded as having narcissistic personalities. Narcissists lack empathy and will easily take advantage of others without feeling remorseful. They never take responsibility for their poor behavior. Instead, they always play the blame game and paint themselves as the victim. As he gaslights us, as Prince Andrew gaslights us and Miss Giuffre. He wants us to believe he's the victim and Giuffre is the villain, and that she's out to destroy his reputation and take his money. There's also usually some delusion in the lying and denial tactics by the gaslighter, since a gaslighter has no problem denying actual evidence. In some cases, they're so delusional, they believe the lie they're telling you is the actual truth. It's bizarre, I know. Here's some things gaslighters say. I never said that. That never happened. You were making that up. What's wrong with your memory? You're overreacting. I always knew you were crazy. Your mind seems off. Something is wrong with you. Let's apply these details to the Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre case. The evidence in this case involving Prince Andrew and Miss Giuffre is a photograph said to be taken in 2001. In the widely publicized and infamous photo, supposedly are Prince Andrew to your left, young Virginia Roberts Giuffre at the center, and Ghislaine Maxwell to your far right. Both Andrew and Ghislaine denied the photo has ever been taken. Here's what doesn't make sense. The photo is being dismissed as a fake, although legal and forensic experts for Prince Andrew failed to prove the photo has been photoshopped or doctored or manipulated in any way. Make it make sense, please. This is essentially why I'm saying they're gaslighting you, me, Virginia Giuffre, and the rest of the public. So why are they doing this? Why would Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew go to such lengths? Why do people gaslight, period? Well, here are some reasons. To lie to you, to deny their wrongdoings, to rewrite the story and get you to believe their version of events, to distract you from the real issue at hand, to shift blame to you or someone else, to discredit you, to minimize your thoughts and feelings about what happened or how you experienced it, to make you feel inadequate, confused, and powerless. Let's apply this to the Virginia Giuffre versus Prince Andrew case, the lawsuit. First, Prince Andrew lied when he said he never met the young lady. Therefore, not only is he lying, he's able to deny any wrongdoing. If we never met, then I couldn't have done anything. And to me, that was a very clever way to get out of this situation. But I didn't believe it. Do you believe it? People aren't believing it. They know that this isn't true. So he's denying the wrongdoing, which in this case would be the sexual abuse, which would be the accusation that he sexually abused the petitioner, Giuffre. Ghislaine Maxwell denies the photo was ever taken. By denying the photo is real, both Andrew and Ghislaine are shifting blame, which would mean Giuffre is the one who's lying. Saying she's a liar is an attempt to discredit her and make her a not so credible witness. Andrew is attempting to rewrite the events by saying he never met the woman. In doing so, he might have made Giuffre question her memory and sanity. Imagine having met someone and, God forbid, they sexually abused you or physically abused you. And then they turn around and say, I don't know you. I never met you. That is nullifying your existence, among other things. Can you imagine how deeply painful that would be for you or for Ms. Giuffre in this case? And will make you question your memory. Hey, did I really actually meet this person? Am I going crazy? And that's exactly what gaslighting does. It creates self-doubt, and it causes you to start questioning your own sense of reasoning, judgment, and your own mental stability. If Andrew had said he met her and that they had had sex, but never sexually abused her, then when he in fact did so, that would be an example of minimizing her experience and her thoughts and feelings about the ordeal. So either way, there's going to be consequences. But he decided to just pretend she never existed and that he never met her. There are men who violate women sexually all the time. They are everywhere. Do you know what they say? Some of the things they say to escape feeling like a scumbag. They say things like, well, you didn't stop me. You looked like you were enjoying it. You shouldn't feel that way. Well, it's not that bad. Let's turn our attention to the why. Why would Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew gaslight us? Why would Ghislaine go to such lengths in her recent jailhouse interview to mention the fake photo theory again? The main reason these despicable people won't stop their fake photo allegations is to deny accountability for what has happened between the prince and his sexual abuse accuser, Virginia Giuffre. That's their legal strategy to try and save their asses. Isn't it a little too late to come up with this flimsy excuse? We don't know what really went down, but something sinister happened, and Andrew, Virginia, Ghislaine, and Epstein know the dirty details. Ghislaine, who is currently in prison for sex trafficking crimes, is trying to take herself clean out of this scandal. But her presence in the photo in question made it hard for her to deny she had anything to do with Miss Giuffre. Prince Andrew has insisted the photo is a sham in his infamous BBC interview in 2019. Worse than that, he denied ever meeting Miss Giuffre. He said they never met. Shut the frigging front door. Who is Andrew trying to fool? Certainly people who can think independently and objectively aren't going to buy this BS. As Abraham Lincoln said, you can fool all of the people sometime. You can fool some of the people all of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. However, the despicable two have an agenda and may be working together to sway public opinion. Here's what they're probably hoping to achieve, in my opinion. Number one, if they can discredit Giuffre and get the public to believe she's lying, then that will cause the public to turn against the woman and take the heat off of their asses. Number two, there are reports that Andrew is planning to overturn the settlement signed with Giuffre in February 2022 and force her to retract her allegations of sexual abuse. Lisa Bloom, the attorney for some of Epstein's sex trafficking victims, said his chances, that's Andrew's chances of scrapping the settlement is 0 to none. Andrew had the chance to let the sexual abuse lawsuit go to trial and provide evidence to clear his name. He took the settlement route and reportedly paid the woman £12 million. Settling made him look like the culprit, whether he's guilty of the offense or not. Now he wants to have the multi-million-dollar settlement toss? Make that make sense, Prince Andrew. Too late shall be the cry. News sources say his sexual accuser signed a memoir deal worth millions of dollars. It's anyone's guess if she's going to make new allegations against the ousted royal. Giuffre agreed to a gag order as part of her $12 million settlement deal with Andrew. She signed a 1-year agreement to not say anything about the case for 1 year. That order will be expiring this month. You already know what that means for Andrew. She could start talking again. If the book deal reports are true, I would be sweating bullets if I were Prince Andrew. In addition to that, Ghislaine Maxwell needs to be afraid. She has reasons to be afraid of Giuffre if she actually comes out and starts talking again after the gag order expires. It means she can provide even more details of Maxwell's involvement in her being sex trafficked, and also Ghislaine's involvement in the Epstein scandal. But let's go back to the fake claim and why Andrew and Ghislaine are using it as a defense. Number 3. If the photo is fake, then Ms. Giuffre might have to hand back the millions of dollars Andrew paid her to settle the case. That also means he can file a lawsuit against her for fraud and claim damages that could be worth millions. Do you see how the long list of repercussions here? Do you see the long list of things that can happen, the implications, the backlash? But that's if and only if the famous 2001 photo is fake. So far, Andrew and his legal team have failed to prove it's a counterfeit photograph. Number 4. We're still on whether or not Ghislaine and Maxwell have an agenda, and my opinion is that they do. So number 4 reason, Ghislaine also has motive to shoot down the photo evidence. She's reportedly setting to appeal her conviction anytime now, or sometime this month or next month. She could try and use the fake photo claim to her advantage in court, or to the very least, attack and try to tarnish Ms. Giuffre's credibility. If she's able to damage Giuffre's credibility, she could use that as a basis to get her sentence reviewed and reduced. And Lord knows what else. It could be her get out of prison card, guys. Like literally her get out of jail strategy. There's no telling how far inmate 028795909 would go to get her freedom back. It looks like she's tired of eating plain, tasteless hummus in prison. Her favorite, by the way. What does she expect? The finest foods. This woman had it coming for all the young women and underage girls whose lives were destroyed by trafficking them to and on behalf of her ex-boyfriend, Epstein. There's more to this. Making Giuffre a less credible witness would cause the public to lose trust in what the woman's sexual abuses claims against Prince Andrew. Giuffre's book deal could also be jeopardized as far as sales go, even though I believe the book might be a bestseller. Right? When you factor in the fact that we love a scandal, we just can't get enough of the dirty details. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. So, what are your thoughts? Do you feel as if Maxwell and Andrew are gaslighting us? How do you think they will end up? Shoot me a comment and I'll surely reply. Remember to subscribe and share if you can. Thank you so much. And see you next time on True Lies, Scandals.